In the beginning there was chaos. Out of darkness came light, and from light came the first gods. The sky, the sea, the earth, all were born out of endless night. It was in this storm of creation that Zeus would rise, a god who would rule all, a king who would strike his name into eternity. His story is one of betrayal, hunger, lust, and fire, a story of storms and thrones. The father of Zeus was Cronus, the Titan who devoured his own children. He feared them, feared that one would overthrow him as he had overthrown his own father. One by one the children were swallowed whole, their cries echoing inside the endless darkness of his stomach. Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, Poseidon, all consumed before they could breathe the air of freedom. But when Rhea, the mother of gods, gave birth to her last child, she refused to lose him to that hunger. She wrapped a stone in cloth and placed it in the hands of Cronus. He swallowed it without question. The child was hidden away in a cave on the island of Crete. That child was Zeus. The cave was no simple shelter. It was a womb of destiny. Hidden from Cronus, protected by nymphs, fed with honey and goat milk, Zeus grew in secret. The sound of his cries was drowned by the clash of shields, as loyal guardians struck their weapons to hide his existence. He grew strong while his brothers and sisters remained trapped inside the belly of their father. Zeus learned not only strength but cunning, for survival was born in silence and secrecy. When he reached manhood, Zeus stood tall, his eyes burning with storms, his hands restless with power. He knew what must be done. With the wisdom of Gaia, the earth herself, and the cunning of Metis, goddess of craft, he tricked Cronus into drinking a potion. The Titan roared, his body convulsing, and one by one the swallowed children were vomited out. Gods long lost returned to light. They were weak but alive, and they gathered around Zeus. No longer alone, he was now the leader of a new rebellion. The war that followed shook the world. It was called the Titanomachy, the battle between the old gods and the new. Mountains were torn from their roots and hurled across the sky. Seas boiled. The very earth cracked open as brothers fought brothers, fathers fought sons. The Titans stood with Cronus, mighty and ancient, their strength carved from the bones of creation itself. But Zeus had more than strength. He had the thunderbolt, a weapon of fire and light, forged in the depths of Tartarus by the Cyclopes. With it, he shattered armies, split mountains, and blinded the enemy with fury. Lightning roared across the battlefield, and wherever it struck, Titans fell. The war lasted 10 years, an age of endless blood. But at last, the new gods triumphed. Cronus and his allies were chained, cast into the abyss of Tartarus, where fire and shadow swallow all hope. With victory claimed, the sons of Rhea and Cronus divided the world. Zeus took the sky as his throne, Poseidon took the sea, and Hades took the underworld. The earth itself remained shared, but all bowed to Zeus, the king of gods. He ruled from the peak of Olympus, where clouds curled like thrones of silver, and storms bowed at his command. Yet power brings hunger, and hunger brings conflict. Zeus was not only a king of justice, but a god of desire. His lightning was not only a weapon, but a fire of lust. He sought women, mortal and divine, his passion endless, his will unstoppable. From his unions came heroes and monsters alike. Hercules, Perseus, Helen of Troy, all born of his blood, but also centaurs, giants, and storms of chaos. His lovers were many, his betrayals countless. Even Hera, his queen and sister, could not restrain him. Their marriage was fire and venom, filled with jealousy and rage. Yet it endured, for together they ruled the heavens, no matter the storms within. Zeus was worshipped as the bringer of law, the protector of oaths, the punisher of liars. His thunderbolt was justice itself. When men swore upon his name, they bound themselves to truth, for to break that bond meant ruin. He was the god who watched kings, the judge of mortals, the one whose eye missed nothing. Yet he was also feared. His punishments were swift, and no mortal who defied him escaped unscathed. Look to the story of Prometheus, the Titan who loved mankind more than the gods. Prometheus stole fire from Olympus and gave it to mortals, lifting them from the shadows of ignorance. But Zeus raged at this theft. He chained Prometheus to a rock, where each day an eagle tore out his liver, and each night it grew back, so the torment never ended. This was the justice of Zeus, cruel and eternal. Yet Zeus was not only wrath, he was also order, the force that held chaos at bay. When giants rose against Olympus in the Gigantomachy, he led the gods once more to victory. When mortals drowned in arrogance, he unleashed the great flood, sweeping the world clean of corruption. To him, humanity was both fragile and dangerous, a fire that could burn bright or consume everything. His role was to control, to balance, to rule not only with power but with fear. The temples of Zeus rose across Greece, marble pillars reaching for the heavens, altars soaked with the blood of sacrifice. At Olympia stood his greatest statue, carved by the hand of Phidias, a figure of gold and ivory seated upon a throne, holding victory in his palm. To stand before it was to feel the weight of eternity pressing on your chest. The people saw not only a god, but the embodiment of power itself, the force that kept the world from collapse. But even the king of gods was not beyond fate. The fates spun their threads for all, divine or mortal, and Zeus himself could not sever them. He could command storms, move mountains, burn cities to ash, yet even he bowed to the mysteries of destiny. This truth haunted him, for power without control is terror. He fought against prophecy, tried to escape it, but prophecy always returned. Just as his father had fallen to him, he feared the same would come for his own throne. The myths tell of his struggles with his children, his desperate attempts to hold power. Athena, born from his head, the goddess of wisdom and war, Apollo, radiant with light, and Artemis, mistress of the hunt. Ares, god of war, feared even among gods. Dionysus, born of chaos and wine. Each child powerful, each child a reminder that one day, as Cronus had fallen, so too might Zeus. He devoured Metis, the mother of wisdom, to prevent a prophecy that her child would overthrow him. Yet still Athena burst from his skull, a living reminder that fate could not be swallowed. Zeus ruled through fear and favor. To some he was a father, to others a tyrant. His love could raise a mortal to the stars, his anger could crush them into dust. He walked among men in disguise, testing their hearts, rewarding kindness, punishing cruelty. Heroes prayed to him before war, kings sought his blessing before judgment, and farmers begged for rain when the earth grew dry. Every bolt of lightning across the sky was his voice, every storm his hand. To live in his world was to live under his shadow. The story of Zeus is not only the story of a god, but of power itself. Power born in secrecy, seized through rebellion, secured through violence, and ruled through fear. His throne was built on betrayal, yet it endured for ages. He was the storm, the sky, the father of gods and men. His name still echoes, his myths still shape the bones of our world. When we speak of kings, of laws, of judgment, we speak in his shadow. Even now, centuries after his temples have fallen, after his statues lie shattered, the image of Zeus remains, a figure with lightning in his hand, a crown of storms upon his brow, eyes burning with judgment. He is the eternal reminder that power is never gentle, that kings rise from blood, that thrones are won by fire. He is the storm that never dies. But history has even more fascinating leaders waiting in the shadows. Stick around and subscribe. Let's explore their worlds together. History isn't just old stories, it's an epic adventure full of power, ambition, and incredible tales. Thank you for watching.